Welcome everyone. I'm going to be letting people in now as we get started. Thank you for joining us today for our virtual information session for the Women Breaking Barriers program. My name is Rose Terry, and just bear with me as I'm going to be admitting people as we go. And I'm going to be leading you through this virtual information session. I am the marketing manager and a senior innovation specialist at the Innovation Cluster, and I'm also the lead for the Women Breaking Barriers program. So I'm very excited to have you all here today. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to spend the first half an hour or so going over the program, some tips for your application, as well as eligibility requirements and things like that. And then we're going to spend the last portion of this session with frequently asked questions. So we're going to do a little bit of FAQ, and then I'm going to open it up to all of you to ask me some questions, and hopefully I will be able to answer all of your questions for you. And of course, if there's any questions that you don't feel comfortable asking directly in this session, then you can always send me an email or book a meeting with me or jump on a call, and we can chat about that one-on-one. There is a chat, so feel free to, type away in the chat. I'd love to hear where everyone is from today, but let's get moving. Okay, so the Women Breaking Barriers program, first and foremost, I should let you know, is we are so lucky that it is in support from the Ontario Trillium Foundation as well as RBC, and that allows for us to deliver this program entirely for free to you. So if that was one of your questions, yes, this program is completely free to the accepted applicants in the program. So at the Innovation Cluster, we get it. Starting a business is hard. Some of you may be surprised to know that we have been actually changing entrepreneurs' lives for over a decade. I believe we're at either year 14 or year 15 now. So we have a lot of experience doing this, and we really wanted to put this program together because we saw that there was a huge need to support female founders or female identified founders in STEM and social innovation. So what the Innovation Cluster has done is we have created a pathway for female-led companies to prosper through this 6-month acceleration program. And I'm going to be detailing all of the different pieces that you'll have access to through this program. But I think that it's really important to note that incubation programs are proven to increase your chances of success by up to 50%, which is very exciting. And this is a photo of our first cohort. So actually, I'm still currently working with all of these wonderful, incredible founders right now. They are just about to go into their pitches to the Peterborough Region Angel Network. Actually, some of them are pitching this evening. And then we also have a couple of them that are pitching a couple weeks from now. So this is a fun photo of our first cohort that went through, and I just thought I would share that all with you. Let's jump right into a program overview. I'm just going to open my chat here. Oh, cool. Nice to see everyone. Thank you for coming. Okay, so let's jump into the program overview. I'm going to talk a lot about the different resources and things that you'll have access to throughout this program, as well as what to expect in the program. And of course, if you have questions about this as we go, feel free to populate them in the chat, but I am going to wait until the very end to answer your questions. So, program overview. Throughout the program, you will have the opportunity to, of course, work on your company with focus and goal setting. That's a huge piece of this program. You will be also meeting with innovation specialists, which are mentors and advisors. So for example, I'm an innovation specialist, staff at the Innovation Cluster, and you will be meeting with them on a bi-weekly to monthly basis to help you stay on track. And typically what these sessions will look like is they are very catered to you depending on what you're dealing with in your company and the questions that you have. And we will also be focusing as well on the different program pieces throughout the program. You will have access to our innovation partners as well throughout this program. So innovation partners are experts in very specific areas like marketing, finance, law, accounting, team coaching, leadership, loan services, and more. We also have a confidence coach who is part of this program, which is unique to this program specifically, which is awesome and has been a great addition, especially for the founders that are currently participating in the program right now. You'll be able to participate in private workshops, so only the 10 selected will have these private workshops, and then we also have a variety of public virtual workshops that you'll have access to. Of course, you'll be able to mix and mingle with all of the other female founders that are part of this program. That's one of the most amazing things and has been the coolest part for me, is watching the relationships that have been formed in the first cohort of the program. You will have access to our client portal, which has a wealth of past workshops, educational resources, as well as any template under the sun that you could possibly ever need to start your business or keep your business running. As well as, if you've heard of Growth Wheel, we also have access to the Growth Wheel programming. Of course, you'll be working with other entrepreneurs, building your networks, fast tracking your business, receiving very easy and direct access to funding and financing programs, as well as individual and personalized pitch preparation for your final pitch, which will be taking place at the end of the program at the 6-month mark. And the other neat thing about that is that the Innovation Cluster, not only do we have a partnership with the Peterborough Region Angel Network, but we also have a partnership with NACO and AIO, so the angel networks in Ontario as well as across Canada, so that we're able to introduce you to other networks if that's something that you're interested in. This is just a snapshot of some of the resources that you'll have access to. Each month will be themed and we'll focus on different things like networking, putting together your advisory board if you don't have one yet, marketing and branding, sales and finance, and so on and so forth. So the program itself is going to really make sure that you are set up by providing these very specific workshops. And as I mentioned, they're going to be master classes on sales, confidence, strategy, and pitching to investors. They will all be focused on areas that we have seen that female founders need support with. So they're all very tailored. The other thing that's really cool about this program is that you will have very focused sessions that will help you to accelerate your growth. So for example, we actually in our past cohort had a couple founders who were already clients of the Innovation Cluster, but moving from an incubation program into acceleration program, the speed at which they grew increased dramatically. So being part of this program is really going to push you very fast, but it's good. It's good, it's fun, it's fast paced, and everyone has really loved that part of the program. You'll definitely be focusing on building your entrepreneurial skills with a group of like-minded founders. And I think that's part of the key to this, is definitely having the community to lean on and the support system there. You're also going to make so many incredible and unique connections. I don't know if anybody recognizes this lovely lady here on the screen, but this is Michelle Romanow from Dragon's Den, and she came to visit the incubator not too long ago. We make a point at the Innovation Cluster of helping to build your network. So I'm not necessarily saying that you're going to meet Michelle, but you might meet other people like Michelle that can help you to push your business further faster. Through this program, something that's very individual to this program and very specific to this program is we actually offer expert in residence sessions. So that means that we have a roster of experts that we'll actually pay for you to spend time with them in different areas of your business, such as strategy, confidence, as I said before, confidence coaching, sales, finance, and we also have a marketing expert. So we have a wide variety of people that you are able to spend these sessions with, and you have a certain amount of sessions you're able to use, and we will actually pay for you, which is pretty cool. You'll also have access to the rest of our startup community. So pretty cool about that is the incubation program. We also work with between 50 to 60 startups on average. So you'll also have access to the rest of the startup community as well, and direct access to all of our partners as well. We also have, this is obviously in person, and unfortunately, none of this program will be in person. However, this is from a Halloween cube lunch that we did not too long ago before the pandemic. And we do still host our monthly cube lunches, although they are virtual now. And it really gives the opportunity for all of the founders to connect with one another and expand their network. So you won't just be meeting the 10 that are part of this cohort if you're accepted, but also be integrated into the rest of our community. We also have advisory services, as I've mentioned before. So myself, we also have 2 other advisors on staff, and there will be more by the time this cohort starts. And you have easy and direct access to them. We will have a variety of networking events, again, all virtual, but definitely a big perk of the innovation cluster is we put a lot of focus on networking and helping to build your network, because a lot of the time it's not what you know, but who you know. We will also have a variety of keynote presentations throughout this cohort program, some that are open to the public and then some that are private and just for the cohort. This is actually Manjeet Minhas from Dragon's Den as well. She actually joined us for International Women's Day last year, just prior to the lockdown. The other thing that's very cool about this program is, although it is 100% virtual, when we are open, so the innovation cluster is currently closed, but we do have 3 incubator locations, and we also have different maker spaces. And so if this is something that you are interested in having access to, when we are open, which I can't tell you right now when that will be, everything, as you probably know, is very fluid with COVID. We don't know when that will necessarily be, but you will have the ability to access our incubator if that's something that you choose, or our maker spaces. So our maker spaces are things that are areas within the incubator that actually allow for you to have access to specific equipment. So for example, we have our virtual and augmented reality zone, where we provide you with access to equipment in order to enable you to create the products that you might be creating in that zone. So we actually give you the hardware so that you can do that. We also have an H2O makerspace. Same idea, we have a variety of different pieces of equipment within that makerspace, which is more specifically for water testing and clean technology testing. Okay. We do a lot of pitch prep and coaching. I've been really working a lot with the founders from this cohort to get them prepared for presenting to the angels. We want you to do the best that you can possibly do and be the best you can possibly be. So we work very closely with you, not only in workshops, but we also do a variety of private sessions and pre-pitch prep with you. As I mentioned, we have a variety of workshops that are offered privately, but then the innovation cluster still will offer other workshops to our incubated clients. So those are things that you can also take part in, while you are participating in the program. One thing to keep in mind is that the private workshops for this cohort program are mandatory to participate in for the 10 that are accepted into this program. However, the other workshops that we offer to our clients generally, those are kind of on an a la carte basis, so you can pick and choose the ones that you would like to attend. And then we have tons of virtual roundtables. This is more, I would say, what normal life is looking like now for us. Lots of Zoom calls so that everyone has the opportunity to kind of touch base with each other. And we always try to do something to make it a little bit more fun and unique. So you might notice people are wearing fun hats in this one. This was a summer hat theme. And that's what we asked all of our clients to come and participate in. Sometimes you can attend these and sometimes not, but it's a great opportunity to kind of mix and mingle with everyone and expand your connections as well. The one thing that's really cool about this program, and the piece that, most people are interested in, is the Peterborough Region Angel Network. So at the end of the 6-month program, you have the opportunity to pitch directly for angel investment to the Peterborough Region Angel Network. They are partners with the Innovation Cluster, so we work directly with the Angel Network. They have over 40 members, which is a very large angel group, and some people are surprised to know that we have that many angels in Peterborough, but we do. And so we support you to get ready for that pitch. And we actually manage all of the deal flow for the angels. So if outside of this program, if someone is interested in pitching for investment, we support them to get ready for it, take them to the angels to pitch, and then help them with the due diligence following that. So we work very closely with the Angel Network. And if you have any specific questions about this, of course, drop it in the chat and we can talk about it after in the Q&A. I just wanted to take an opportunity now to let you know some of the feedback from our first cohort. This program, by the way, is a pilot program. We saw that there was a need for to support female identified founders in STEM and social innovation. And so we applied for this one-year pilot program to run this program. And it has been going very, very well, we're excited to say. And we know that it is changing the face of female founders that are accessing the types of resources that they need in order to get things like investment, loans, grants, things like that, that it may be difficult outside of these programs to get access to. This is Robin, lovely Robin from Undo Wearables. They're a very, very cool company, femtech company. I highly recommend looking into them if you're interested. You're more than welcome to reach out to any of these founders as well. I'm sure they wouldn't mind. Robin says the connections being made are real, the community is powerful, and I think we need more programs like this. You're more than welcome to head to our website if you'd like to read this quote in full. It's actually longer, but what Robin and her team has done is they actually have a patented technology that solves menstrual pain problems. This is Otalia. Otalia is another amazing female founder. She said, I was lucky to be selected as one of the very few brilliant women disrupting their industries. And Otalia is creating InnovFin, which is a innovative technology education platform. This is Jess Dalliday. Jess is awesome, and she's created Pilates on Demand. She says the women in this program are extremely supportive and exactly what I needed to get out of my comfort zone. Jess is actually one of the women who was a client prior to this, and throughout the program, I'm sure she wouldn't mind me saying, her business and sales increased 300%. All right, so let's get into the fun part. Which is the eligibility requirements. So this is all listed on the website. Don't feel like you need to be furiously scribbling anything down or like you need to take a picture of this. This is all on the website. I'm not going to read this word for word. I'm just going to point out some of the things that I know that a lot of people typically have questions with and kind of go over the pieces that I think are really important to remember. So of course, you do need to remember that you are considered tech if your primary business objective is to develop and distribute custom-built technology. So that means we are not necessarily looking for any redistribution or consultancy, okay? This program really should be new and innovative. Something that either you have already built from scratch or you're planning to. Of course, as said before, this is for STEM, so science, technology, engineering, math, or social innovation. If you don't fall into those categories, but your business does have some sort of intellectual property behind it, then we will absolutely still consider you, and I still recommend applying, or if you have a new innovation, okay? So those are the two pieces that I just wanted to point out. We are preferring the companies that apply to be early stage, so under 2 years in the market. However, some exceptions will be made, and that's something that you can detail in your application form. You can be a new business idea, so please don't feel nervous to apply if your business idea is brand new, or you can be still very early stage. We will still work with you. Or if you are an existing business and you have just decided to create a new and innovative product to add to your current business, that's absolutely something that we will look at as well, okay? So those are the things that I really wanted to point out. Another piece that I think is really important that a couple of people have asked me before is when we say that it's female-led, that means that you should have a minimum of 51% equity stake in the company. So we actually had a company that went through the first cohort that has 3 founders, 2 of them are female and the other is male, and that's totally fine, okay? I think that was, for the most part, all of the things that are really important to highlight. In my next slide, I'm showing you here the catchment area of where we actually service. So important to note here, you can be from any of these regions. We had in the first cohort a company from Halliburton, and we've had companies in Peterborough, Lindsay, all over the place. And then we actually also had a company that currently is based in the United States, but is actually in the process of relocating to the Peterborough region. So that is a possibility. If you are not currently located in our catchment area, but you are planning to relocate here, then you can still apply, but you will need to detail that information in your application so that we understand, okay? Tips for your application. So I'm going to actually, in a moment, take us to the application page so that you will have the opportunity to go through it just briefly with me. But I wanted to just say a couple things based on applications that we received, just to keep in mind when you're actually filling out the application form. Really make sure that you're describing your business well. One thing you need to remember is that we are not in your business day to day. So sometimes we don't necessarily understand fully what's going on in your business. So I highly recommend taking the time to really describe the business well and ensuring that think of us, the committee, as that we've never heard of this type of business before. We don't understand your sector, we don't understand the problem or your solution. You really have to detail it very well for us to understand, okay? That will give you the best chances, okay? Make sure that you attach any documents that you have for review. So I understand if you are in the early stages, you may not have a business plan yet, and that's okay if you don't. But if you do, please do attach. It will add to your application. And there are sections within the application form that you can attach those documents to. Any specific resources that you require, please also detail those. So as I said earlier with the makerspaces, if that's something that you need access to, please do note that in the resources that you require. And I'm going to show you in a second on the application form, but there is a sector selection place within the application form, and it will ask you to select the specific resources that to select the programs that you're applying for. So make sure that you select Women Breaking Barriers program, but then any other sector that also applies to you, if it is listed there, okay? So I'm going to share the application form here. Can I just get a thumbs up if we can see this? Yes, okay, good, thank you. Thanks, Nat, you're the closest one to me, so I appreciate your thumbs up. Okay, so this is our application form, all right? So there's very generalized information that you will need to fill out. Initially, your personal information, your mailing address, business information. Please note that these little red asterisks are things that are required. And then if there's no asterisks, you do not need to submit that. However, if you do have it, it does benefit your application to submit it. This is what I was referring to for the sector. So you'll see right here, you're going to click the Women Breaking Barriers program, okay? And then if any of these other ones apply to you, you will click those also, all right? Again, more questions about your business. And then this piece is if you are outside of Peterborough and the Kawarthas region, we ask you to fill out, you know, where you are and when you're planning to relocate. Here is where I was explaining earlier in the tips. Make sure that you are really doing a great job of describing your product, service, platform, or process. We really do need to have a very in-depth understanding of exactly what you are doing, whether or not you have a prototype, what the problem is that your company is trying to solve. What is the business problem that your company is trying to solve, okay? Who's the target market? As much detail as you can possibly give us there. So who are you actually trying to sell this to? What resources or assistance are you looking for? Again, as I mentioned before, things like the makerspace, but then, you know, if you're looking for business planning support, or maybe you have a lot of experience in your technology and you have absolutely no business experience, you can let us know that so that we are aware of what we can do to support you, okay? If you have revenue, please let us know your annual revenue. If you have a business plan, it will actually allow you to submit a PDF of your business plan here. Cash flow projections, and then this part, arguably, tell us about your team, is probably one of the more important pieces here. We really want to know about you. If you're a solo founder, that's okay. We really, really, really need to know about you. We need to understand you, what your background is, why you want to participate in this program, and what makes you the best person to be taking this business forward, okay? And then, of course, you submit your application at the end. This application does not save, so if you prefer, you can work outside in a Word document or a Google Doc, and then you know, copy and paste it in afterwards, because it does not save your progress, okay? All right, let me go back to my PowerPoint presentation. Don't worry, I do see the chats happening, and I am going to get to your questions once I'm done running through everything, I promise. All right, we're back. Okay, so here is a snapshot of the evaluation criteria. Again, this is on the website. The thing that I wanted to mention on this side of things is that I would recommend, when you're filling out your application, referring to the application criteria to ensure that you are actually filling out the application and that you're answering a lot of these questions, okay? So we really want to make sure the business aligns with the objectives of the Women Breaking Barriers Accelerator program. Make sure, obviously, we want to make sure that it's innovative, that the product, solution, or platform or process is new, okay? We want to see in your application that you've identified a problem that's in need of this solution. Your target market, again, you can see how the application form really does match well with our evaluation criteria. And then the resources needed by the business are suited to the Women Breaking Barriers Accelerator program. And last but certainly not least, that the founders and team is coachable and demonstrates drive and entrepreneurial spirit, okay? Okay. FAQ. So I'm going to go over some frequently asked questions that came out of the first cohort, but then questions that I've actually been receiving throughout this application process. And then we're going to open it up to your questions, okay? So the first question that we receive quite often is every company guaranteed investment? And the answer to that is no. So the Peterborough Region Angel Network is going to hear every single pitch from the accepted applicants, but they are still going to go through the exact same process that they would normally do when receiving pitches for investment. So there's still going to be a due diligence process. Every investor is different. They're going to be interested in different things. They're going to want different things in their portfolios. So that's not a reflection on you or your business. It's just a matter of investors are different and they're interested in investing in different things. So the cool thing about the Women Breaking Barriers program, though, is that we streamline the whole process for you. So you are guaranteed to get in front of them, okay? That's what's cool about this program. So no, it does not mean that you are going to receive investment, but it gets your foot in the door and we give you the best opportunity possible to receive investment, okay? The next question is, can I continue working with the innovation cluster at the end of the cohort? I've received this question quite a few times because we do have other programs. And the answer to that is pretty simply yes. There is definitely potential to do that. So what will happen is at the end of the 6-month cohort program, if you are interested in continuing to work with the innovation cluster, which many are, we will just go through a review process, which we actually do with all of our other clients as well, to see if we can renew you and put you into a different program if that would suit your needs at that time. The next question that we typically get often is, can you define what social innovation is? Because a lot of people are curious about this one because STEM is pretty straightforward. So social innovations are new social practices that aim to meet social needs in a better way than the existing solutions. For example, working conditions, education, health, et cetera, et cetera. If you have an idea or a current business to address any kind of social needs in a better way than currently is what is addressing those needs, then absolutely apply, okay? We are absolutely looking for social innovation as well, okay? Very important to keep that in mind. The next question that I've received quite often is what type of company are we looking for? And to be honest, the simple answer to that is as long as you meet the eligibility requirements, we are really, really interested in founders who are coachable and have drive to succeed. So as much as we look for new, unique, innovative companies, we really, really are looking for founders that really want to make a difference and that are ready to actually participate in this program. I think that's the biggest piece, the biggest takeaway from this, if you can take away something. Okay, so that was it for my frequently asked questions. And now I am going to pull up the chat because I know it's been going crazy here. And we have lots of questions. So feel free to populate your questions in the chat right now if you have any, and I'm going to start to answer them as I go. Okay. Oh, hello, Millbrook. Peterborough. Cool, cool. All right. Social innovation, that's nice to see. Hi, Apsley. Okay, first question is, what is the growth wheel? So growth wheel is a advisory tool that we use to support our clients and entrepreneurs. And essentially it allows for us to give you quite a few different types of worksheets, articles, and other business tools in a very concise way that is in layman's terms so that it's easily understandable. So that's essentially what Growth Wheel is. It's a great, great tool and it really can help you to build out different things. So for example, one of the things that we definitely focus on in this program is putting together an amazing advisory board. So we, through Growth Wheel, use a variety of their worksheets to help you to understand what type of advisory board you need. For example, what kind of members you might need on your advisory board. And then we actually help you to actually source those members that you might want to add to your advisory board. I hope that answered your Growth Wheel question. All right, next question is, do we need to live in the Peterborough area to participate? If so, are there other opportunities in Ontario? So you need to be in our catchment area, as I detailed earlier, or you need to be planning to move into the catchment area throughout your time in the cohort program. So within the 6 months, okay? And I can't comment to the other opportunities in Ontario because we've actually created this program ourselves from scratch. So I don't know if there is anything else that exists that is similar to this program. Thank you for your question. The next question that we have is, I work for an established female-led business and we are working with a group of women on a new program idea in the social innovation area. So would we be eligible to apply if we are not looking to start a new business, but launching a new program with a newly formed collective? The answer to that is yes. If you are working on adding something new and innovative, then absolutely you can still apply even if you are an existing business. That is in the eligibility requirements. All right. Trisha says, my idea is definitely social innovation, and it is mostly in the idea stage. The business plan is in the process of being written and further refined. Cool. Yes, so you can absolutely apply, and if your business plan is ready, you're more than welcome to attach it to your application. Are not-for-profit organizations eligible? Yes, they are. Again, as long as you meet the eligibility requirements. All right. Next question is, I'm looking at locating my business in either the Lindsay area of the Keene area, or maybe it says, or the Keene area. Is Keene inside the catchment area? What about if you are in the early stages and haven't quite decided on a name? All right, so that's a two-part question. So yes, it is in the catchment area, and it's okay if you are in the early stages and haven't quite decided on a name. That is totally fine. That's something that we can support you with through the program if you are accepted into the program. Another question, would an inmate reintegration program using farm work as a method of doing this, would this be considered a social innovation? Answer your question, Trisha. I would suggest applying. I would need to know more about your business, to be honest. Those types of specific questions, if you want, we can take them offline, sorry. I'm not sure if I understand totally about the business.
Sorry, Rosalie, this is Trisha here.
Hi.
Hi, can I explain that a little bit better?
Sure, or we can also take this offline if you want, Trisha. I would be happy to book a call or a Zoom appointment with you.
Okay, maybe we'll do it offline. I'm kind of a little reluctant to be telling people what my idea is.
That's okay. If you want, you can just shoot me an email. It's rterry@innovationcluster.ca. My email's also on the Women Breaking Barriers program page.
Or Terry at
innovationcluster.ca.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. All right. So I have another question, which is, if you do not live in the catchment area, but have a strong social innovation background and would like to partner with someone, could you make that introduction with a participant in the hopes of building an idea together? So if I'm understanding that question correctly, it sounds to me like you currently don't live in the catchment area, but you would like to form a partnership. So yes, if your partner is a female founder and is in the catchment area, that is, I think, would meet the eligibility requirements. If you do not live in the catchment area, I'll reiterate this. If you do not live in the catchment area and you are not planning to relocate, then unfortunately you are not eligible for this program, okay? Next question, is writing in first person acceptable in the application? Absolutely, absolutely. You can write the application in first person. That is absolutely acceptable. The next question, does the business idea specifically need to relate to the Peterborough area? If I have a business concept that is social innovation that benefits citizens globally, not just the residents of Peterborough, is this okay? Yes, absolutely. So we work with companies that, you know, a lot of the time their target market is not in our region, and that is completely fine. So I would say absolutely, if your business is located in the catchment area, but you're trying to solve a problem that's outside of the region or that addresses a global problem, then absolutely you can apply. Yes. The next question is there a preferred word count for application sections, and how much support research would be recommended to flush out social issue to be addressed by a socially innovative business plan? We don't have a preferred word count, no. So, I mean, my suggestion would be that you don't want to be writing a novel, right? I think that it's important to convey your idea, and each section is clear and concise as possible, and try to keep it on the shorter side, as long as you can get all of the information that you feel that you need to convey. That would be my suggestion. I don't think that it's beneficial to write and write and write just to feel like you're, you know, trying to fill out the application just to do so. Like, I would recommend trying to keep it as clear and concise as possible. If you include numbers, that is always a good thing. So if you can include, for example, the size of the market that you're trying to address, or any like statistics that support, for example, what the growth in that market is, or what the trends are, or things like that, absolutely include those numbers. But I don't think you need to be, if you're referring to maybe, you know, giving us references or things like that, I don't think you need to do that. I hope that answered your question, Catherine.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious in terms of like outlining the sort of social issue that you're hoping to address. How much, you know, sort of supported back research do you want to hear about in the application to sort of clearly demonstrate that there is that social issue, and then you know, some of the ideas to address it.
Yeah, so I mean, of course, any numbers or statistics that you can provide to show that that is a problem is beneficial for any application, regardless of if it's social innovation or another type of business. So I would highly recommend including statistics and data to back up that the problem exists, and then statistics and data that show that your solution is the best solution for that problem.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yep, thank you.
You don't need to, though, necessarily like include links out to other websites or articles. I wouldn't bother doing that. I think if you
don't need like a lit review to like support it, but I can like, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, next question. Do I need to have a business name / be a registered business? I have a business idea and I'm preparing a business plan, but I have not determined a name for the business yet. So I think I answered this question already, but no, you don't need to have a business name. We can support you with that, and we can also support you in terms of being able to register your business. So the answer to that question, short answer is no, you don't need to. Next question is, in quotations, the business / founder must be available to participate in all programming in the 6-month period. Are there pre-scheduled events / workshops that they must be available for, or is there flexibility around scheduling? That's a fantastic question, Lindley. So yes and no. So we recommend that you come to as many of the live workshops as you possibly can. The reason for that is that the Q&A period is usually the most beneficial part of the workshop, because you get to ask direct questions directly related to your business, and highly recommend that. That being said, we have had, you know, I mean, you're running a business and you probably have other things happening in your life as well. And we understand that You know, especially during the pandemic, it has been, you know, harder on women if you have children and you have issues with childcare and things like that. So we do actually record all of the sessions throughout the 6-month program. And we have a private area on our client portal that the founders that are participating in this program will have access to if they were unable to attend a session. However, we, you know, we want you to attend the sessions if you can attend them. You will receive an email at the beginning of the month that details all of the sessions. Usually it's 1 session a week minimum, and it's usually in the morning. Typically they kind of happen around 10 a.m. on a Thursday, and then sometimes there will be 2 sessions a week, depending on the week, and usually they're in the mornings. I hope that answered your question. So yes, there's flexibility, but we do really prefer that the founders are actually able to participate in person. And if that is all of the questions that I have, I feel free to keep populating questions, because we do have you know, 10 more minutes that you can have me while I'm here if you want to ask me any other questions. However, I just want to let everyone know only 10 will be accepted. So the application deadline is February 12th at noon. We will not be looking at applications that are later than that. So please be sure to get your application in by noon. Okay, I got another question. If there are numerous founders involved, can they share attendance duties at events? Absolutely, yes. Yes, totally. If you have multiple founders, you can definitely share. Same with staff. So for example, we had a company who they had their VP of operations attend most, if not all, of the workshops with them. So if you have staff that you feel would benefit from the workshops, say you have a marketing specialist or something like that, that you wanted to attend the marketing workshop, they can do that, okay? So absolutely you can do that, or you can split it up between the other founders. That is totally fine. All right, if that was the last question, please make sure to remember to submit your application February 12th at noon. If you head to innovationcluster.ca/breakbarriers, that's where you will find my contact information. So if you missed it today, it is Terry. I'm going to actually put it in the chat right now. Terry at innovationcluster.ca. You can send me an email. I would be happy to discuss with you any other questions that you have. If you think of something outside of this information session that you would like to chat with me about, we can either email back and forth, we can jump on a phone call, or we can set up a Zoom call as well, whatever works for you, and I'd be happy to chat with you. But otherwise, it was nice to see the lovely faces that I did see on the call, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day, and I hope to see your application. Have a great day, everyone.
Oh.
Bye.
Thank you.